Hi YouTubers, it's Natalie here once again, and I am back. Welcome to 2020, even though it is February 4th as I speak right now, 2020. Yeah, it's been a while. Every single time I come on here, it's been a while. I apologize. But yeah, one of the things that I am preparing for is going back home. I leave in March, so, well, not March, I leave right before March, so as of today I have like 3 weeks left in Korea. People always ask me, how did you survive in Korea so long? Why are you leaving now? What's changed? And I feel like this video I'm gonna touch on all of the things that I have been able to kind of consolidate together as the reason why I am now choosing to leave Korea. If you're interested in learning why I am choosing to return back home after living abroad for 5 years, then stay tuned. So one of the main things that was really difficult to adjust in the first place when I first came to Korea, or honestly whenever you moved abroad to another country, is the cultural differences. Now, cultural differences, especially a culture that is completely different from your own, definitely has some challenges to get accustomed to. I mean, anywhere from like work cultures and passive aggressiveness and just a whole bunch of different things that you approach differently than the society that you have immigrated into. Now, when I first got here, there was an adjustment period, and I came to appreciate, understand, and adapt. And that is one thing that I really feel like I've grown a lot from, is being able to adapt and learn how to work with others that take on, or that have a completely different cultural background as you. And it really allows you to understand people from different backgrounds, why they think that way and why they do things differently. And it forces you to think more outside the box than in a single-minded mindset. One of the things that I told myself when I got to Korea is, if at any time these differences get too much for me to handle, not necessarily too much to handle, but I'm tired of sacrificing my comfort for the sake of everyone else's, that is when I am going to need to leave. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't have to compromise and sacrifice when you move to another country, because that's a big part of moving to another country. But when you feel like you're losing a part of yourself and who you are because you have to accommodate so much, it can be draining. And I got to a point where that's where it felt like, and then I started feeling resentment and towards people, towards little things, and I did not want to be in that place or mindset. I told myself I never want to get to a point where the negatives outweigh the positives of the culture that I appreciate. I never want to get to that point. Some people, when they live abroad for so long and they just hate it, but they just stay just because they've gotten to a level of comfortability that they're not willing to give up. I did not want to get to that point where I just hated where I was. When I leave this country, I want to look back with positivity and happiness, because Korea has been a huge part of my growth and a huge part of my identity in my 20s. And I want to look back on those years as it being a positive time in my life. So when I came to Korea because I knew that I wanted this position, my job, to be a stepping stone for me to get to the next level in my career. I wanted to be able to differentiate my resume from the millions of other people that have just graduated from university. I was supposed to only be out here a year. Boom, I'm out here 5 years. But one thing that I made sure that I was doing is, as long as I was out here, I needed to continuously be growing and moving forward in attaining things, credentials, be it experience, that will be beneficial towards my future career. And once I got into a level where I was not growing, that is when I knew I had to go. I have gotten to that level. Now, one thing about being a teacher in a foreign country like Korea is that if you do not speak the language fluently, and if you do not have another kind of visa, or you're not married with, you know, a Korean citizen, your options for what you can do outside of teaching is very, very limited. And so for me, no matter how much and how long I teach in Korea, I can only be a teacher. And teaching students English was never even part of my career plan, let alone a 5-year career plan. I definitely think that it helped, and it equipped me with a lot of skills, professional skills that I need in my future career, but at this point I have plateaued. And that is something that I really do not want to continue, because I see greatness in my future, and if I'm here and I'm not progressing, I cannot reach the level that I want to reach. And so that's the second reason why I decided I've chosen to leave, because I'm not growing anymore. I've said this plenty of times before. Coming to Korea, living here, being a teacher is probably the best, in my opinion, the best opportunity for new graduates out of college. Like, it is something that you cannot find really anywhere, like in the United States. You get housing, you get insurance, you get pension, you get severance, you get a whole bunch of things, you get everything, you are set. And it's such a great opportunity for new graduates. And it's super easy to get comfortable with this lifestyle. It's super easy to get comfortable with making lesson plans and then using those lesson plans for years, the same lesson plans for years and years and years, to the point where you don't have to create anything anymore. You're just regurgitating what you've said years and years and years before. And then your life is just set. You're just living and you're saving. And that's why I say it's super easy to get comfortable here, and that's how I got caught up. That's how so many people get caught up. You turn around and you're like, dang, it's been 10 years and you don't know where the time has gone because it's so comfortable. And I became content with that lifestyle. Another thing that I had told myself when I first came to Korea, I do not want to get stuck in that contentness, because yes, it's comfortable and it's easy, but again, it goes back into the growth. Like, I'm not pushing myself anymore. I'm not striving for anything greater. I'm not doing what I used to do back in the States. I don't have that drive, that push here. And I miss it. I miss that drive. I miss that, almost that competition between people. Like, you want to kind of claw your way to the top kind of thing. You want to network. You want to do all this stuff. I don't have to do that out here because I'm just set. Not saying that that's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. If that's what you're looking for, then great. But I know for me, it was something that I told myself when I first got here. I don't want to get to that level. And when I recognized that I was there, it was time to go. Going into my next topic, it kind of falls into the contentness. I was working just to work. My passion semi aligns with teaching, but not completely. I found myself dreading going to work sometimes. I found myself dreading to walk to my classes. And I never want to feel like that. I feel like if you're working in your passion, you'll never feel like you're working. And I think that is kind of the disconnect that I have with where I am right now. I don't feel like this is my true passion. I love my students. My students are amazing. Like, they're one of the things that brightens my day. Even though I'll dread walking to class, the minute I walk into the class and I see their faces, I'm happy. I love the interactions between them. But there's just something that is missing. And that something is what I need to figure out. And I feel like I can only do that going back home and really getting into the career path that I originally sought after. This next point is what sealed the deal for me in leaving Korea. And that is my health. Korea has some of the best healthcare in the world. I have amazing healthcare insurance. I love the national healthcare. United States needs to get up on this healthcare, okay? I love it. But the issue with my health in Korea was caused by the horrible air. One thing you should know about Korea is during the winter, and usually between every transitional period, like between summer to fall, fall to winter, winter to spring, the air quality takes a huge dip, and it is horrible. I'm talking, if you follow any of my social media, like Instagram, you'll see I post about it all the time. I'm always having to wear a mask. The sun is like, has a yellow tint. Sometimes you can't even see buildings that are right in front of you. That's how bad the air quality was. And last year around this time, I ended up having to be admitted into the emergency room because I was having shortness of breath, which ended up being caused by an acute asthma attack that was onset by the pollution. And so that really scared me because I've never had any breathing problems in my life. I've never had asthma. Like, that was a complete shock for me. And the fact that my health got to that point in 5 years, I can only imagine what is going on in my body after being here for this long. I don't know the long-term effects. And that really scared me. I feel like in the United States, we don't, since we don't see it, we don't like really think about it. You know, out of sight, out of mind. But living here in Korea and traveling to a lot of these Asian countries around this time of the year, the air quality is horrible. And the pollution is disgusting. And my health and the health of everyone here is suffering because of it. And so for my health and for health reasons, I have to move back. Like, there's just no compromise. And finally, the last reason why I know it is time for me to return back home is because I miss my family. I miss my family so much. I'm tired of celebrating Thanksgiving, Christmas, birthdays, 4th of July, all of the major holidays through webcam. I'm tired of not being there and seeing my family and my cousins grow and just being in their presence. I miss not being able to visit my grandmother whenever I can, just like I used to. I miss those things, and that's something that I really do look forward to, is being able to be there with my family once again. And again, 5 years has been a long time, and it's hard to not be able to be there whenever anything happens. I'm a whole half day away, flight away. It's not easy for me to get there. And so I just want to be close to home. Anyways, those are my main reasons why I decided that it is time for me to leave Korea. I feel like these reasons can apply to you living anywhere in the world. I really want to know, if you live abroad, what would you add to this list? Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, you guys.